All right, hi everyone. It's Mr. Jackson here um, from all the way at Lake Gibson House over in Lakeland. So I wanted to continue on the topics that we have been discussing for our chapter number 3. So topics that we will cover are DOS, Windows, OS X, Unix, Linux, iOS, Android, and then operating systems for larger computers. All right, so we're going to talk about these operating systems. All right, so let's talk about DOS. So DOS stands for Disk Operating System. It's an early command line personal operating system. So you will enter commands into the computer in that specific language, and then the commands will operate. So you have your change directory command, changes the different folder on the current drive that you're actually associated with. All right, cool. Then you have your drive command, changes a new drive. Your copy command copies files from another location to another. And then you have your directory command, displays files and folders in the current location. So these are your command prompts, all right? So if you got a Windows computer, there's a way that you can actually go to your disk operating system to actually perform different commands. So moving on from there, Windows. Windows is the predominant operating system for personal computers, right? And I know that most of you guys actually have Macs, but that's the premier operating system. So Windows goes up through Windows 3 to Windows 11. We're operating environments, not operating systems. So for Windows, we have Windows 95, Windows 98, ME, XP, Vista, 7, 8. 7 and 8 offered improvements to your personal computer. So different options and different apps now that you are able to use with your personal computer through Windows. Then other versions of Windows are Windows servers and Windows phones. And those support specific devices. So Windows 10 is the latest version of the Windows operating system, and it's designed for all devices. So they have it on tablets and all those different type of devices. So here's an example of what the Windows 10 looks like. I'm using a Windows 10 computer today to give you guys information. They have a tile section which is used to launch apps. So they have different windows that contain the apps and different documents within them. Then at the bottom we have our start menu, which we're able to click up and get to those different tiles. And then we have a taskbar at the bottom where we're able to launch different programs. So OS X is an operating system used for Apple computers. Gotta love Apple. So recent versions include OS X El Capitan and OS X Yosemite. So here are some of the different areas of the way Windows are. This kind of operating system looks. So with our Macs, we have a dock that's down here at the bottom. We have different icons that we can press on that lead you to different programs. And then we have our windows, whichever we click up something, it opens a new window. And then they have continuity, which allows you to make phone calls if you have your Apple device that's connected to it and if it's close by. The OS X server is a server version of OS X. So that is specifically for a server. Unix was developed for several servers and mainframes. So basis of many operating systems today, including OS X. And then many versions are available today. And then also with those many versions, they're not compatible with each other. So they change. Linux is an open source operating system available without charge via the internet. So open source system is available through the internet that you use, so it's not something that's built in on your computer. So the open source code may be modified to improve or be customized. Most versions use a GUI today. And then advantages of this is that it's less expensive, much more customizable than Windows. You know, with Windows and with OS X, what you see is what you get, so you can't really customize too much. And then many operating systems, Android, Firefox, Chrome OS, are based in Linux. So this is what a Linux desktop looks like. iOS, that's basically the operating system used for Apple smartphones. We've seen that. And it's based off of the version of the same one that we use for our Apple computers, which is OS X. And then recent versions of this is iOS 9. But it's probably updated since then. Android is a mobile operating system developed by Google and Open Handset Alliance. And so recent versions of this include Android 6, which I think this is a little bit old, but Android 6. Also used with the Android tablets, smartwatches, and smart TVs. And then the operating systems for larger computers include servers, mainframes, and supercomputers. Conventional operating systems such as Windows, Unix, and Linux are used. Proprietary operating systems designed solely for that system. So whenever there is a mainframe computer or a supercomputer or different servers that you have, there are specific operating systems that are designed directly to use with that system. So IBM mainframes is an example of that, where they use it specifically with those mainframes. Let's see. They customize conventional operating systems. And then a version of Unix developed for an IBM mainframe or a Cray supercomputer is something that they actually customize for a specific system. So usually this is more so to deal with like businesses where they will actually customize a particular mainframe operating system for that mainframe and for that business to perform their specific task. All right. And so we're going to stop it right here, guys. So I appreciate you guys listening for another installment today. And just keep on reviewing and keep on moving forward.